Hey guys, it's me, Melissa, and you can contact me at melissamills@rocketmail.com. I am a wife, a mother to 3 children, a public school librarian, an online ESL teacher, and an online ESL hiring coach. If you would like me to be your hiring coach, you can look down in the description box for my referral code and links. All right, today on this channel, we are going to watch a video all about TPR. If you are interested in learning about online teaching, how to juggle your family life with teaching online and learn engaging teaching methods, then please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can keep updated with all of the latest online teaching information. Today's video will cover the topic of TPR. We will go over what TPR is, why we use TPR, 5 instructional TPR strategies that you can use today, 5 educational TPR examples that you can use today. We will witness how to use TPR, and I'll give you my #1 TPR tip. All right, so let's get started. TPR, what is it? It is Total Physical Response. To put it in very simple terms, it means adding physical movement with your words. And so you're acting it out. Imagine like charades. When you're teaching something, you're also going to be modeling it with some physical actions. The reasons that we use TPR would be to increase student comprehension and to increase their retention of the vocabulary. There are 2 different types. There's instructional TPR and educational TPR. I like to keep it simple and remember them this way. When I'm teaching instructions to students, what I want them to do, I'm using instructional TPR. There are 5 basic instructional TPR signs that I would like to teach you today. Before I teach you them, I want you to know that TPR is not like sign language. They're not signals that you have to learn. You can make up your own TPR. It just needs to make sense. Okay, so let's go over 5 instructional TPR signs that you can use in your online classroom today, no matter what online platform you teach for. And one of them is for VIPKid, we have slides where the students have to drag and drop things. If they're new to VIPKid and you just say drag and drop the animals, the students will not know what to do. So you can use some TPR, which means adding in a physical movement, and they will understand your instructions better. So drag and drop, drag and drop. You could do it that way, drag and drop. You need the student to understand what you're wanting them to do. They do not need to be doing this with their hands. They need to actually be dragging and dropping things on the screen. Another one that we use is draw a line. So on the screen, if you want the student to draw something, you can say draw a line. Draw a line. I'm physically modeling what the student needs to do. Another instructional TPR that I use is circle. There are lots of times that students need to circle things on the slide. So I will say circle, circle, so that the student understands they need to circle. Another one that is very popular in the VIPKid platform is to speak. When I want the student to talk to me, I cut my ear. The student knows that they should be saying something back to me. Another one is for the student to watch my mouth closely for pronunciation. So I point to my mouth. So instructional TPR, the student needs to follow your instructions. The student does not need to physically copy you with their movements. Now, educational TPR is different. In educational TPR, I'm teaching the student educational terms such as vocabulary And not only do I want to clarify and help the student understand the word better, but I want the student to do the action with me. So I'm going to go over 5 common educational TPR moves that you could use in your classroom. Please note these are just the moves I use, and that you can create your own moves as long as they make sense. It is not like sign language. There are not set movements. Each teacher can create their own movements. Okay, so here's the first one I'd like to do. There's a lot of slides that talk about running. So in the lesson, I'm going to add a physical movement with teaching the word run. Run! And then I cut my ear. I want the student to say run, but now I also want the student to do it with me. Run! The student should be saying run and also physically acting like they are running. All right, another one that I use is walk. Okay, I usually hold my arm up and get 2 fingers. Walk. This is the educational TPR, and then I'm going to use some instructional TPR because I want them to say walk. Good. Walk. Very good. So we've covered run and walk. Those are 2 symbols you could use. In a lot of the lessons, there are animals. So I'm going to show you a simple one, and cat. Cat, you can put on some whiskers. Cat. Student would say cat. Cat. Very good. Now, that is not the universal symbol for cat. You could make your own cat. You could make it with just cat ears, and that would be okay too. So you can make your TPR specific for your class. Okay, so we've done run, walk, cat. In one of the lessons I had the hardest time for, and I saw this TPR from someone else, but in the mock lesson there was flying a kite, and I was like, how in the world am I going to act out flying a kite? But it actually, I found this TPR very useful. So fly a kite, and you're kind of modeling the kite like flapping in the wind. Fly a kite. Okay, so I hope that one helps you out if you are still in the mock slide, mock section of the application process. Okay, drive. Okay, that's a pretty easy one that you could do. So whatever the word is that you're trying to teach, try to think of some TPR, which is Total Physical Response. You're going to increase their comprehension, so they're going to be understanding what you're doing, and you're also going to teach retention, which means they're going to hold on to the word longer if you connect a physical action to it. Let's say a student was trying to read the word run on the slide and they couldn't read well. If I want them to read it, I could just go. And then they might be able to say run because they now have connected it with the action. When you're using TPR, you're going to be reaching your 3 major learners: your visual learners, your kinesthetic learners, and your auditory learners. So kinesthetic learners are going to learn by movement, and your auditory learners learn by hearing, and your visual learners learn by seeing. So you're going to reach all of those basic learners by using TPR. And dun 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 dun, drum roll for my number 1 TPR tip. And it is to be consistent with your TPR. So if I use this to teach cat, I need to use this the entire time through the lesson. And if I'm going to teach that student regularly, I need to use that same TPR every time. So don't teach cat like this on one slide and then teach cat like this on a second slide. You want the student to consistently match the action with the word. So do not switch up your TPR. I hope you found this video useful. Please look down in the description box if you'd like to contact me. I would love to help you get hired with VIPKid. I'm going to model now a little session using TPR, okay? So I'm going to speak some Spanish to you. My native language is not Spanish. So I do not claim to speak perfect Spanish, but I want to show you how adding in some TPR would help your student understand what you are saying. Hola, me llamo Melissa. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cuántos años tienes? Okay, if you don't understand Spanish, maybe you didn't understand any of that. Maybe if I add a little bit of TPR, which is Total Physical Response, you may be able to understand what I am saying. Hola. Me llamo Melissa. ¿Cómo te llamas? Very good. ¿Cómo estás? Very good. ¿Cuántos años tienes? Very good. It's even more effective if you add it in using props. So if I say, hola, me llamo Melissa. ¿Cómo te llamas? Very good. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Estás bien? ¿Cuántos años tienes? Very good. And I probably did some terrible Spanish, but you can see how adding in TPR and adding even TPR and props makes the lesson so much more effective. All right, guys, have a great day and be consistent with your TPR.